Our group decided to cover the Oakland teachers' strike that happened earlier this year. At the time that we started this project, the Oakland teacher strike was the most recent addition to the Red for Ed movement.
Red for Ed means so many things.
It means advocating for our students and for our public education system.
Red for Ed just unites us.
Red for Ed movement took the nation on by a storm, inspiring teacher strikes all across the nation. While uncovering the events of the strikes, one thing that particularly caught my attention was the amount of community support that was given to the teachers. Seeing the community actively endorse the unions for the teachers made me wonder, what was the public's perceptions of unions today? In order to answer these questions, I created an online survey and shared it on my social media to see what people were thinking about unions today. The survey asked the participants to agree or disagree to statements that I thought would convey public sentiments about unions. Here are the 8 questions that the survey asked. And here are the results. While the results of the surveys were informative, I didn't feel that they truly reflected the community's perceptions. In order to uncover this, I decided to conduct an interview with my community members. Here's what they had to say.
Una unión tiene muchos beneficios cuando eres miembro de la unión, porque la unión te ayuda a encontrar trabajo. What is it?
It is a group of people that get together for a certain thing. Like, I mean, I guess it could be for different things, right? But what we use unions for normally is for collective bargaining.
Not an exact definition, but I know it's generally, I guess the general concept is it's a group of workers who, often in a similar career or profession or group that can kind of get together and have the power to, I guess essentially influence an employer. They can, organize strikes and that.
A company, well, not a company, it's like, well, a union. It's supposed to help the people, the laborers, whatever problem they have with the company, they're supposed to help them out to get, more money for the work they do and get stuff like that. They get paid vacation and medical services, all kind of stuff like that.
So I hear unions are supposed to be. They're supposed to be. What do you think they are?
The truth, I think, to me, they're a bunch of crooks. They just take your money, and they're not really helping you, and whatever. Mm-hmm. Whatever problem you have, they might do some little here and there. They might just go talk to the company.
To protect the workers from unfair working conditions. Okay. And people are tired of it.
Well, and how did they...
Well, I know in history, especially back during the Industrial Revolution, people were pretty much screwed over on just about every front, people had next to no power. They were in terrible working conditions, got terrible pay, worked terrible hours, and again, for barely enough to survive, if that. So I know a lot of them started off with demands to essentially improve their condition in life. So I know a lot of them demanded better pay, better conditions, and I think, yeah.
Sí, considero beneficioso.
¿Y por qué?
Para poder tener mejores trabajos justos para todos.
¿Y usted cree entonces que sin las uniones, en la ausencia de los sindicatos, no van a tener esos mismos beneficios?
No creo.
Okay. Based on my opinion or my lack of knowledge of the unions, I don't know much about unions, and this is my perception or of what unions are, because I have never been into a union. I never really looked at their values or whatever. I just have like some sort of very narrow perspective of what.
I say yeah, because I mean, like for example, let's say if you don't have a union and then like the union tells you like how much you can work, right? Let's say the employer's overworking you, you might lose like productivity because you're getting workers that have been working like 15 hours, and then you're just paying them, you're overpaying them because they're not being productive. So if the union comes up with these rules like you can't work more than 8 hours in a single day.
Una huelga, yo nunca he asistido a una, pero creo que es como un paro de trabajo, cancela todo el trabajo cuando hay algo que quieren que les presten atención, como un aumento o algo parecido, algo que no es justo para ellos van a huelga y paran completamente el trabajo.
¿Quién son los que...?
Yeah. So, for example, like in 2004, when Vaughn's and Pavilions and Ralph's, they didn't want to ratify the contract that the union suggested. They were like, we're not going to do it. We don't like the terms. The union went on strike for 4 months, and it affected the businesses. So then eventually they caved in and they said, okay, fine, we'll ratify your contract. So
funding too, or through it can be a lot of factors, right? Mm-hmm. And I can also see why it can be beneficiary, right? You have a group of people working together, fighting for the same thing, wanting the same thing, and I think what's so beautiful about a union is how when there's a victory, when you see somebody winning and they just have so much passion for it, mm-hmm. and the victory of whenever they go through a strike or something like that, I think that's the most beautiful part, because you are all united people are fighting for something that they all believe in.
Well, for the teacher strikes, for sure, teachers are educating these kids. So parents are like, well, those are my kids. So everyone knows, like, it's kind of like, oh, these are kids. How dare you? Mm-hmm. So I feel like community feels for that. Like, we got to help these kids. So way to help these kids, you got to help the teachers. And I feel that for the BART, there was nothing really sentimental or something you could say, like, oh, something. Like, this person's like, I can care less what you're fighting for. I'm trying to get to work.
Yeah. So. That's a hard question, a very complex question, because communication is one thing that schools lack. Like even just working at a school right now, the communication, we don't have that strong communication. So I think when it comes to something serious, something intense that people don't agree on, that it can. There's good to have a mediator there deciding, okay, how it's going down, hear both sides of the story. So I do think the communication part of it is needed for the union, but also they have a lot of control in their profession.
It depends where you work. In these days, sometimes you don't have a choice. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They force you to have it. And I don't think that's right. I don't think no one should be forced on doing that. If you want to work in that company, you got to get a union. And that's forcing someone to do something they don't want. I think it should be a choice, whatever you want. Not forcing you to do it. Either you do it or not, you're out. You're not working. That's what I'm saying. That's a mafia stuff. Mm. It's like, they go to the store. Okay, we provide security for you. It's not like they're not asking. We're going to do it, pretty much.
Well, I hope to be a teacher. And I mean, as far as I know, a lot of teachers have to join the union. That one in particular, I would absolutely. I mean, I think I'm still pretty young and I haven't been particularly knowledgeable about politics and news for that much of my life, but I think the teacher strike that's been going on right now probably had the biggest impact on me, because a lot of their demands weren't necessarily just for themselves, you know, for like better pay for themselves. They were also demanding like, you know, better, like smaller classrooms so that it would help the students, for like a permanent nurse and psychologist to be on site for the students. So, I mean, that one in particular, it's not just demanding help or like for themselves, it's helping everyone. And I mean, I think in education in particular, it benefits everyone. Because with the next generation, you educate them well, then they'll hopefully go on to do good things or like be better people than they would, say, without any schooling.
After conducting the interviews, I gained a better understanding on how people in my community viewed unions, their historical importance, the current importance and benefits they provide, the skepticism and doubt that comes from misinformation, the simple confusion on what unions are. But what was made most apparent to me while conducting these interviews was that the teachers' unions were viewed at a higher regard than other unions. This is because of their inherent partnership with the community.